Hi everybody, Tex-Mex here. Thanks for joining me for another video. Today we're taking a look at the Ruger SP101. This is a 357 Magnum version in the 4-inch barrel. It's slightly over 4 inches. It's 4.15 inches. The SP101s, they come in different barrel lengths. They come in a 2.5-inch barrel length and just over 3-inch barrel length, and this is the newest production, which is the 4.15-inch barrel. As I stated, this is in 357 Magnum. The SP101s also come in 38 Special, 9mm. I believe they also make it in 327 Federal Magnum. They used to make it in 32 H&R, but I think once they started making the 327 Federal Magnum, they discontinued the 32 H&R. But they're great revolvers. They are they're compact. They're, like I said with the SP101-22, I think it's between a J and K frame as far as comparing it to a Smith and Wesson. Closer to the K frame, and I've got a K frame here we're going to compare it to in just a second. It's all stainless steel, like all the SP101s. Makes them a little heavy. This one unloaded is 28.8 ounces, so it's a heavier pistol, which is nice as far as eating up some of the recoil when you're shooting 357 Magnum out of it. Really, with 38 Specials, it's a relatively mild gun to shoot. As far as what type of firearm this is, it's a double single action revolver. It's a 5-shot revolver. Here, let me put this up here. So let's open up the cylinder to check it, make sure it's safe, and you can see here 5 empty cylinders. And this firearm can either be fired by pulling the trigger in double action mode. It's a relatively heavy pull, or you can cock the hammer and with a lighter trigger pull, shoot it single action. And we'll actually check the weights on those in just a second as well. Let's see, what else do I have to say about this? Okay, it does have a transfer safety bar. I'm not sure you can see that here, but there's this little bar between the hammer and the firing pin, because the firing pin is here in the frame, that the trigger has to be pulled all the way back so that the hammer can make contact with the firing pin and actually fire the round in the cylinder. So it does have adjustable sights, adjustable rear sight, fiber optic front sight. As I stated in my SP101-22 video, I don't like the look of these, but the function is great. They work great. These front fiber optic sights, I just don't like the way they look on on these revolvers. I wish they looked better, but they function so well that I ignore the looks and I go function over form in this particular instance. We're going to take it out to the range. We're going to shoot 38 Specials, 38 Special plus Ps, and 357 Magnums out of this revolver and see how it hits with those different loads, and then comparably see how much recoil there is from each of those different loads. So let me pull out the K-frame that I have here. I have a Model 1010. It's a 38 Special K-frame. This was a trade-in. They were Australian trade-ins, and I think Bud's Gun Shop and some other distributors got a hold of them. And I was very excited to get a hold of a round butt K-frame. They had them in both the square and round butt grips. And, I'm a Tex-Mex. I like me a nice round butt. But here, let me put this down, and then we will check a comparison here as far as sizes. Looking at them here, they look like they're very, very similar in size. So I would say the SP series is probably closer to a K frame as to a J frame. So as I said, this is a Model 1010 Australian trade-in, and the 38 Special K frame compared to the 357 Magnum SP101, yeah, very, very, very similar. So very similar to the K frame. As far as compared to the Ruger GP100, it's significantly smaller. I do have a GP100 here to compare it to. It's a 5-inch model, and yes, that is an RMR I have mounted on there. Some of you might find that fascinating. Most of you probably find it horrifying. But I actually plan to do a video with this one soon, comparing it to open sights. I'm going to shoot an open sight Smith and Wesson 357 versus this RMR at different distances. See how they compare to each other. But let me set it down here so we can put the SP101 next to it and do a size comparison. So as you can see here, there's a significant difference between the GP100 and the SP101, the GP being significantly larger. Obviously, this is a 5-round versus a 6-round, and the other difference here is that this is a 4-inch barrel and this is a 5-inch barrel. They don't often make GPs in 5-inch. They typically tend to be just over 4-inch or 6-inch. When I found this one, I jumped all over it because I know the 5-inch tend to be limited productions now and then, and I just think it's a perfect size and it looks really, really, really great. So now let's test the trigger on the SP101. And here I have my Wheeler trigger gauge. Let's try to test this guy in both double and single action. Let's start with double action. 8 pounds, 3.1 ounces. Whoa. 8 pounds, 11.6 ounces. And 8 pounds, 2.2 ounces. Okay, relatively consistent. Now let's try it in single action. That is 4 pounds, 0.4 ounces. Second test. 3 pounds, 10 ounces. Well, 10.4 ounces. And one more. 3 pounds, 2.5 ounces. Okay, yeah, once again, relatively consistent. So, I mean, not the best trigger, and I haven't fired many rounds through this yet. I did purchase this new, and I've probably put maybe just over 50 rounds through it. So there's still a lot of break-in, and I'm sure that'll lighten the trigger up a little bit with time. This holster I have, I want to give a shout out. Once again, this is not a sponsor, but it's Barranti leather. You probably cannot see that there. B-A-R-R-A-N-T-I. They do good work. They actually put this on there for me. This was my family's cattle brand for a period of time when I was younger. I actually did some cowboy stuff. I would help catch cattle, dehorn them, put them through dip to keep the ticks off of them, and we would brand them, and this was my family's brand. So they were nice enough to put that on the holster. It looks really, really nice. A beautiful holster. So just giving them a quick shout out. Anyway, as usual, this is probably the most boring part of my video. Everyone rather see me shooting. So let's go ahead and head out to the range and put some rounds through this pistol. And now we're going to shoot the SP101 and 357 Magnum. I've loaded it with 5 rounds of 38 Special. It's 158 grain Remington hollow points. So let's see how well it does with regular 38 Special ammunition. It seemed to hit that very well. Now let's try some Spl P. What I have now is going to be some Winchester 125 grain 38 Special Spl P. I'm curious if the point of impact's going to be the same or if it's going to move up. Let's see how it does. There you go. Interesting. So the Spl P, the lighter round, it hit much further down, a few inches down. Still grouping very well, but hitting much lower. And now we're going to finish off with 158 grain again, but this time 357 Magnums. I expect this is going to give us a much bigger kaboom. Oh, yes. And I'm going to say a little bit of ouch on that one. Yeah, those definitely kicked a lot more. Well, and the 357 mag did pretty well. I mean, it hit almost the same as the 38 Special, the 158 grain. It seems that the 125 grain was the one hitting the lowest. As you could see with the 357, ooh, it certainly kicked a lot more recoil, a lot more report. I'm sure, you know, the GP100 has much larger grips. As you can see, the SP101 has a smaller grip panel. I like it because for my kids and for my wife, they're able to shoot this pistol without a problem, and I just shoot 38 Specials through it, and it's very comfortable for them. If you're going to be shooting a steady diet of 357 Magnums through it, then you may want to consider a separate set of grips, something that might fill your hand a little more or have a little more rubber texture to it. But all in all, not bad. I mean, as you can see here, we are at about 12 yards. We're hitting pretty well on target. So now we're going to do some side-by-side slow motion so you can see the recoil difference between 38 Special, 38 Special plus P, and 357 Magnum.